Hello and welcome to the Sunken Submarine Podcast. I'm Sammy, here with David.
Hello.
How you doing?
Today was a good day. I'll be honest with you. It was a really good day.
Good.
Good weekend.
I've had a darn good weekend too.
Yeah,
What'd you do?
you just told me about it. You just told me about your weekend. You did have a good weekend.
True. I wanted to talk about it before I came on the air because it's a little too wild for this podcast.
Mine, I'm happy for just like it's a very real reason, but a very like boring reason for the most part. But just like this project that we've been working on at work for a year and a half that I've been putting my all into. It's just getting to a point where it's like our company's looking good. It's making me look good, and it feels really nice to actually have that edge after all this time of not looking good. We're riding the wave right now. It's really rewarding. That's all.
Oh yeah, dude.
So today was a good day for that.
I did not know that. That's why you were having a good weekend. That's pretty awesome.
That's just one of the reasons. I had someone else up. I'm in York right now. I'm in a hotel room. Clearly, this isn't my house. And I've got someone my age up here this weekend, so we've had some good times.
Is it a guy?
Yeah, it's a dude. It's just one of the guys I work with. A guy that's been a work friend for a while, but he wasn't on this project ever. So.
And now he's starting on the project, or?
Yeah.
Cool.
So
that's good news.
He's introducing me to he's from Vietnam, so he's introducing me to Asian foods. I had duck yesterday.
There you
go. Never had duck in my life.
Duck's not really Asian though.
I was at an Asian restaurant. It was cooked with Asian spices and things. Yeah. But I don't know.
I like duck. It's gamey though.
Well, it was really fatty, to be honest with you. I wasn't expecting that.
Yeah. Duck's good. It
was good. It was tasty. I felt really uncomfortable eating it, but it still was good.
Yeah. Find a good Korean restaurant.
I don't know if there really is one out here. That place was
you got to get a bibimbap. It's really good.
Bibimbap?
No, bibimbap.
Never heard of it.
It's Korean. It's really good.
All right.
So I recommend when you go, get that and then ask for it on a hot stone. They crack an egg over it and it cooks itself. Oh,
so I miss VWK Mongolian at UD. I miss it.
There you go. That was a sleeper. I miss the Kettering wrap. Just recently I had something similar and I hated it. I mean, it was not a Kettering wrap.
It was probably healthier. It's probably impossible to make a less healthy sandwich than the Kettering wrap.
I don't want a healthy sandwich.
That's what I'm saying. That's probably why it didn't taste good.
Well, anyway.
And then I don't know. I went to Gettysburg, which I thought was going to be really boring, and that was I know so little about the Civil War. That whole place was really interesting to me. It's massive. It's to walk around the entire place is 26 miles. So I didn't realize that. I didn't walk around the whole thing. I did the main stuff that you're supposed to go see, where the Gettysburg Address is, and then there's a massive, I forget what it's called, some massive painting, and I don't know. I don't know. I thought it would be really boring. I'm it's just gonna be a field, it's a field. But it was.
Yeah,
it was
but there's
cool.
A lot of history there.
There's tons of memorials made by every state in the country, and then there's the graveyard, which is, an interesting place as well. Very pretty. And I don't know.
I mean, it looked beautiful from your Instagram, Snapchat. I don't know, whatever it was.
The whole thing just kind of blew my mind, to be honest with you.
So, and I've never been either, so, but it did look cool.
I've been 40 minutes away from it for the past year and a half, and just always thought it would be stupid. So, who knew? And I got a shot glass.
We love shot glasses here. ladies and gents.
And I won't be able to use it till the end of Sober October.
Oh, that's a cool shot glass, though.
It's really cool. It says our common ground.
I like that.
So.
Well, I used a lot of shot glasses this weekend, and I made a lot of people do that thing right there.
It's hard to see. Is that the shot ski?
My shot ski, baby.
Did they all sign it?
Yep, everybody signed. Everybody
That thing's
signed.
got to be running out of space.
It is. It's starting to fill up. And now I've started to use different color Sharpies that aren't black. So like a gold one or a silver one. So it's getting pretty pizzazzy on the back. Funkadelic.
We're too early in for Funkadelic. You know what's funny? That's like the first music-related thing we've said, and we're already, well, I can't see how much time we are in. We haven't even introduced the podcast yet.
Yeah, that's the first thing we do.
No. We haven't even brought up days.
Okay, well, but...
And it's your turn.
Did you look it up?
No, it's not my turn.
How many days has it been since John Lennon died?
Here's some information for John Lennon.
Well, that's not what I wanted. I know when he died.
Fine, I'll look it up.
I got it.
And then you can just repeat after me.
I'm doing it. It is
Okay.
14,546 days since John Lennon died. That's so disappointing.
That's tragic.
That's 14,546 days too long.
That's almost as many days as we've been doing this podcast.
Oh,
My.
God.
Oh my God.
So I thought of the exact same song.
I haven't thought of that in ages.
That's why you and I work well together.
That's it. That's why we're doing this podcast right now.
Same mindset. Everything can be brought back to music.
So, you had a take last week.
Well, before we get into that,
I almost want to make that the first thing we talk about.
No, I want to do this. I've been dying. I've been waiting.
Oh, that's
for
right.
this moment.
Yeah, you called me last
Right?
week. Yeah, I'm in. Let's
All
do
right.
it.
So I got a message from I got somebody calling me, and so you have to dial in my room number to get into the building. And I answer, and I'm like, hello, and they're like, UPS, and all I could think was, what? I don't ever order anything. I forgot about this. I forgot it was even coming. Needless to say, I got in, and I get in. You see?
Egan.
QuinnXCII on the upper top. Oh, I just totally gave my address away. Who cares? It says QuinnXCII on the upper top there, and I made the connection. This bad boy is my signed record that I purchased before the album was out. There was only 2 singles that were released. One was the single with Logic, which sucks. Letter to My Younger Self. And then the other
the rest
one
of the
was,
album, yeah, the rest of that song is fantastic. I just want to say Logic ruined it.
and then the rest of the and then the other single that was out was Coffee was the other single that was out, which is my favorite song on the album.
What a
so it
great
doesn't
song.
matter. But needless to say, I bought this album on a whim, thinking, even if it sucks, I still am gonna want a signed album from QuinnXCII. So, weird box.
Do you know how many he had to sign or anything like that?
No, but there is a picture of it up on the internet. Maybe we could repost it with oh, that is sick.
It's hard to see. There's a reflection of my face, but I can see it. It looks good. Is that a giant Q? Yeah, there it is. What if I just cover my face? Does that make it better?
No, that makes it worse.
Yeah, there he is. There it is. Quinn has touched that album. The man himself.
He touched it. He signed it. Do you think that's on the packaging, or do you think that's on
No, it's not on the packaging. They put wrapping over it for
Wrapping
sure.
over. Okay.
You'll be able to tell. Just kind of pull it to the side a little bit. Because if otherwise you'd have.
I was nervous. I was like, I'm gonna have to buy a new album now.
That's what I was gonna say. Yeah. I'm definitely gonna buy that album, but it won't be
let's
signed.
crack it open. So, anyways, I was wanting to listen to this on record. Actually, this is what I was listening to before you had called. But I've been waiting for this moment to open this bad boy. There she is. Oh, now it's got no reflection. You can probably see it better.
Yeah, much better. Oh, that's beautiful. There he is, laying there in the grass. It's probably all itchy.
I'm sure. And that's probably what his Instagram post would say too. Kind of like today's Instagram post when he took a selfie of himself pooping. It said, "I'm pooping." I love his humor. All right.
I like it's
pretty standard. Pretty. It's just the clouds, records inside.
Clouds, to have lyrics on it.
And then the lyrics of each song.
I always like that though. It's worth it.
Pretty standard. And I don't think, there's nothing else in it. That's it.
Do you think he'll sell a deluxe version of like pictures and stuff?
Maybe.
Is the album black?
The album looks black, yeah. Yeah, it's black. Black album. So, there you go. That's the unboxing of a signed Quinn album. He touched this album.
He touched it.
During COVID. So now I'm going to go, and hopefully catch it. So,
you already had it anyway, so.
I know. That's the joke. So, anyways, thank you. I just wanted to open that. It's been killing me. I have been dying to open this thing.
Yeah, that's awesome. I'm glad you opened it on here because you can see how excited you were. I like seeing how excited you get about stuff like that.
Yeah, I thought this is going to be the perfect opportunity to do it. Why not? And it fills up some time. So, kind of cool.
Kind of cool.
So that's what I'm listening to tonight.
I don't know what I'm listening to tonight. After catching up on a lot of stuff that I had missed the last time, I've got a lot of options. But
here's a good one for you. If you haven't listened to it yet, it came out last week. Last Friday. Actually, last Wednesday, but whatever. Why Don't We released a song called Falling.
Yep.
Okay.
I listened to it.
Okay.
Oh, yeah.
So.
One of my favorite things released in the past month.
Yes. And I was with a couple of women this weekend. Absolutely love this band. Love this song. Apparently, one of the guys in that group is from here.
Did they know him?
No, they didn't know.
Okay.
But I guess he's from Stillwater, Minnesota, where I caught COVID. So I guess they're big here. And all my grade schoolers are talking about it too. Everybody's talking about this new song. I loved it. Absolutely loved it. So I'm glad you caught up on it too.
Yeah, I did. And like I said, I think it's one of my favorites. That band is increasingly growing on me every week.
Yeah. A little plagiarized, just a little bit. Starts off with Black Skinhead.
I find it interesting that you're talking about plagiarism given where I want to go next, but that's okay.
And then the next thing.
But no, I did agree. The beginning of it, what did you just say it reminded you of?
Black Skinhead.
What is that? What is Black Skinhead?
That's Kanye West.
Yes, that's exactly what it is. And then the other one I was thinking of is and
then 5 Seconds of Summer for the rest of the song. Their newest album that is ripped off straight up. But I'm fine with it because it's a great song.
Believer by Imagine Dragons also has a very similar intro. It has like
yeah. Well, and then the rest of the song, the singing wise, sounds a lot like 5 Seconds of Summer. A lot like it. So, but anyways, like I said, I don't really care. I don't care. It's good regardless. I love it. So,
I like it.
all right, go ahead. Let's take us a different route, David.
This is just the one that I'm most, I think confused probably is the right word about, is the take that you had last week about the best alternative album of the year.
Without a doubt.
And I think there's either two things that are happening here. Either one, you're joking, which is possible, or two, you were like just in a really good mood that day. Because there's two things. There's like, first of all, MGK is he's fine as a rapper, whatever.
Oh yeah,
He's
you have to say, all right, it's MGK's new album.
Yeah, sorry. MGK's new album. What was it called again?
MGK's new album, I believe, is the top alternative album of 2020.
Okay.
I didn't stutter. I believe it. I have listened to it every single day since the last podcast. Since we last talked, which was last Tuesday, I've listened to it every day.
So here's my rundown of why that makes no sense to me. The first thing is the poor guy can't sing worth a diddly. He can't sing, and his style fits well for rap music, but it does not fit well for even punk rock, where you don't have to your voice is supposed to be a bit grungy. It doesn't fit. It's not right. He just doesn't sound like, he sounds like he's trying to imitate somebody who he's not. And so I also think that the entire first half of this album, and we talked about this last week a little bit, sounds exactly like he's trying to be Blink-182, except clearly he can't sing anywhere near as well as the vocalists in Blink-182, both past and present. I know they've switched out. And the only reason that it really sounds like them is because Travis Barker is the drummer, and he's the only thing that redeems this album. I mean, he is the best drummer probably alive right now. I think that's debated, but I think he's one of the best, and I love his solos in this. I think he does a great job. But I think the biggest appeal of MGK is that he's the punk rocker. He's a rapper who's different because his vibe is punk. But when he is the punk guy trying to make a punk album, it just doesn't have the excitement that there's nothing like unique about it, and there's other people that do it better.
I don't agree. I think it is so good. I think not Travis Barker. I think Machine Gun Kelly needed to revamp himself after, the whole Eminem thing, and just kind of reinvent himself. And his whole pop punk vibe just works. It's so good. And it doesn't matter that he is previously known as a rapper. You do realize he can also play the drums. He plays the guitar. He does all of that.
Yeah, one of my favorite songs by him was OMG back in the day. He actually sang on that, and I don't know if he was using auto-tune. He sounded okay.
I think he's one of the most talented musicians of our time and is very underrated. He could play every instrument. I mean, the only other person that I know that can do that is the lead singer of the Foo Fighters.
This take on you saying that this is the best alternative album of this year reminds me a lot of your opinion on the last Green Day album, which I still think was a flop. I think that was a very big disappointment of an album.
Did I say I liked it?
Yeah, you loved that album. You were very excited about that album.
Yeah, but then it didn't have any re-listen value because it just kind of died off for me.
Well, you had the same excitement for that you did for this. You claim that was the best.
I did not play that as not even close to as much as I played this album. I'll tell you that now.
It just reminds me of that take. That's all I will say about that. So I'm curious. I'm curious if this will hold true, because for me it didn't.
Maybe you need to give it another listen. This album is so good.
I don't know that I
So
can.
good.
It was hard for me to not turn it off.
Nah, I disagree. I have played this album every day since last week.
You know what we
All the
never
way-
did?
all
We
the
said
way-
about things that we disagree on, that they go in the submarine, and we let the listeners decide.
It kills me that you don't like this album.
I
It is
don't like this
so
album.
good. So good.
I don't enjoy it.
No way. This album is top tier. Name a better alternative album that's come out this year.
I knew that was going to come up, and I need to look up the alternative albums of this year.
There's no way.
So if the argument for you is that it's the only alternative album that came out this year, then okay.
Well, I'm
That
not
doesn't
saying
mean much.
it's the only one that's come out. I'm saying it's the best one that's come out.
Tame Impala was this year. 1975 had a good album this year.
Tame Impala, meh. 1975's album was good. It was not the best.
Who else had albums this year? There really wasn't a lot of alternative albums. I will give you that. But I would easily argue the 1975's was better than this.
No.
Is this saying that the Green Day one was this year? I'd even say that the Green Day one was better.
Yeah, the Green Day one was in early February.
That seems like so long ago. It kind of was. It was like before current world events, right? I don't think. Would you consider Halsey to be alternative? I guess she is.
They consider it for this most recent album.
Oh, the Killers album wasn't even that bad. That was actually pretty good.
It was not even close to MGK's album. No competition.
I would argue it's significantly better.
Most people would disagree with you. Most people did not like the Killers' new album.
I liked it. I thought it was good.
Had a couple of good songs.
I love it when we disagree.
MGK's album, alternative album of the year, potentially my favorite of the year. We'll see.
All right. Sammy's favorite album of the year. I give it a pretty big flop.
Potentially my favorite
where we
album
are.
of the year.
Sammy's favorite alternative album of the year thus far.
Easily. Because my favorite is probably still Black Bear's album.
Oh, is that considered alternative?
No, it's considered pop,
Gotcha.
which is why I'd put
You want
Black
to jump
Bear's
into
album.
that, by the way? Should we jump into that right away, or do you have anything more to say about MGK?
I have said my defense. It's a great album. There's not much else I can say. Everything makes sense. The drumming is obviously fantastic.
It is.
His, guitar was great. It was pop punk. He doesn't need to sing. It was wonderful. So, anyways, that's my final 2 cents on it.
The last thing I'll say is I think playing in that what was that film that we watched together? We reviewed it on here about
The Dirt.
The Dirt. I think The Dirt got into his head and he decided that he wanted to be a rock star.
All right. All right, the next one we had on our list was Black Bear. I told you to listen to that. I think you probably already did.
Yeah, did we not talk about it last time?
We did. But I basically wanted to say, I think it is very cool, in my opinion, that 3 out of the 4 main genres, let's say we call them 4, rap, country, pop, and rock. I think 3 out of the 4 genres, we had top tier albums or top albums released in their respective genres within a month from each other. And that is Black Bear's album, I don't know what it's called. for pop, Hardy's album for country, and MGK for alternative rock. And I don't know, like, there's a lot of pop albums that have been released. I mean, my Black Bear one's definitely a hot take. I know it is. I mean, that's against Justin Bieber's album. There's some quality pop music that has been released this year. So I know that that's a hot take. I just personally...
I will agree with you if we're talking against Justin Bieber. The Black Bear's album had more creativity in it and was overall a more impressive album.
Plus, for me, it just fits my style of music more. Like, Black Bear's album matches up with what I would like and appreciate more than something that Justin Bieber would make. But I do know that that is like a hot take. There's a lot of good pop albums. Look at Drake released an album. Now that could be considered rap too, but there are a lot of top tier pop artists out there because that's what's mainstream. But anyways, that's my belief on the Black Bear album. I just liked it. Plus, it came out where a lot of the lyrics were resonating with what I was going on with in my life, so it was kind of fitting. And that's why and I'm not going to change my opinion on that one. I thought that was a good album. That's all.
I 100% agree. I love that Black Bear album. It's something you can put on when you're in a great mood and you just want to vibe, but it's also something that if you're in a bad mood, it'll bring you out of it. And that's some of my favorite type of music that's just able to do both. So, and there's like a genre of artists that are able to do that. So it's just interesting.
Yeah. Well, and he's always pretty good with his lyrics. He's a pretty good writer, I feel.
So I almost wanted to start this episode. This is off topic completely. I almost just wanted to say the Sunken Submarine podcast, where we don't mention beats, bops, or what's another word that we use to like describe, that we use like anytime that we describe.
Bangers.
Yeah, that's what it was going to be. The Sunken Submarine, where we cover music without using the word beats, bops, or bangers. I just wanted to come in hot saying
That'd be so hard to do.
I know.
Because I say that all the time. That was a banger.
And if you do, then the other
You got to take a shot.
Yeah.
That'd be a dangerous podcast.
Well, I'm 100% down starting November.
Sounds good. We can do that. And then that's how we'll introduce the episodes from now on. But starting November. I agree.
I don't know. I mean, it'll require us to be more like analytical. I don't know. We'll have to come up with better words.
We'll just be careful with what we say. I'm gonna end up ripping a whole lot more shots than you are.
I don't think we're gonna like even notice.
We'll see. I think if there's a shot on the line, we're gonna notice.
Yeah, we're gonna say it on purpose.
All right. And then the last album was Hardy's album for country. What'd you think, David?
So
it's between that or Luke Bryan's album for top country album.
So Hardy's album, first of all, never heard of this guy in my life. First time I've ever heard of him. Got all capital letters in his name. Got all capital letters in every one of his song titles. And so the first 5 songs I listened to, I went, this guy has keyed into the exact same vibe and flow that Florida Georgia Line has. Exactly the same. And that's the only bad thing I can say about him, is that the first 5 songs roughly on this could have been Florida Georgia Line, but it's a different voice. Now, I will say, it's not like he was uncreative. I love the beginning, like Judge a Cowboy by His Truck. Like the album from the beginning is fun and like exciting, and
plus those lyrics are pretty darn witty to be able to.
Yeah, that's what I mean by fun.
Yeah, I mean, and around the first or second song, you already know he's lost his friend, one of his good friends, one of his best friends.
Right.
And then it gets a little sad towards the middle there where he really starts getting deep into that. And
And
now
when
he
he's
impregnated a girl and now they're, together and things. And I mean, there's some pretty serious lyrics to be had there. So I thought it was really well portrayed.
and then my opinion on it when I was listening to it, I said, this sounds like Florida Georgia Line, but I love it because it's not. And it's, whatever. And then halfway through, about when you said things started changing, I was like, yeah, you can hear his own like creative decisions and his own style coming out. I think he probably tries to grab your attention. I think the album was put together to grab your attention with these and then go, hey, this is what I'm also like. And
plus I think you and I have talked about, go ahead.
I enjoyed the entire album. I love it. It'll be on a playlist for sure. Again, I listen to Florida Georgia Line all the time. I'll listen to this all the time as if it was them.
Yeah. And I think another thing to mention is, you and I have had this conversation before, right? A single is like its own entity. When you release a whole album, that is like a story. That's like a storytelling. That's like you release a trailer and then there's a movie, right?
Right.
So that's a snippet of the movie, right? And I think the same thing about an album. You release a single, okay, that's cool. But once the album's released, that's like a story. And I think he did a really good job at storytelling here. Anyways, that's my 2 cents on that album. And I love the album. I thought that this easily could have been one of the top country albums of this year.
I agree. I really agree. And I've heard nothing about this guy. I heard none of his songs on the radio. Maybe it's because I've been listening to other stuff and I haven't listened to a lot of country radio recently, but this is fun. It's a good album.
Yeah.
So I will be hearing about this guy again. And if you
haven't
haven't listened,
it's good to hear that you agreed on 2 out of my 3 takes.
I do. Those two I agree almost fully on.
I'll take it. If I were to put down 300, I would have gotten 200 back. Oh yeah.
But let me ask you, of those 3, which do you wish I would have agreed on the most?
Black Bear.
Okay.
Because that's my favorite album. I mean,
all right.
That may be my number 1 of the year. We'll see. And low-key kind of triggered about that whole MGK thing. So, I don't know.
Well,
I don't know. It just bothers me. But I think I would have had the same reaction if you disagreed with any of the other ones. So.
Probably. I've also sort of, I don't know, MGK. He's MGK.
So
He's just MGK,
I hate MGK. I hate him. I don't like any of the music he puts out. I love this album. Oh.
Yeah, I don't get it. But all right, let's move on. Because we've already been on this for way too long at this point. We're just repeating ourselves. All right, so we have probably more to talk about, but we went through the 3 that you wanted me to talk about. Yeah, I have an album I want to recommend, an artist I want to recommend that I don't know if you've heard of. Maybe you already have. This guy's name.
Hold on. I'm gonna write it down.
Yep.
Oh wait, I'll just do it on my phone. You're good. Go ahead.
This guy's name is Raux.
What is it?
ROUXX.
Oh yeah.
You ever heard of this guy?
Mm-hmm. I haven't really listened much. I haven't dived deep.
So he doesn't have a lot out. There's not a lot to dive deep into. He has 1 album that came out in 2019.
Okay. You want me to listen to the whole album?
And an EP. So I recommend listening to the album. It's not very long. It's only 7 songs. It's called Valenciaga. And
Arrivederci.
And my favorite song by him is called What of You.
You?
It's not on that album, but that is my favorite song by him. It's just a single. It came out this year.
All right, I got one for you. You ready? I just discovered this band this week. They could be bad. We're gonna find out together. Okay.
Oh, so you haven't really listened to him?
I listened to their most played song. Lime, Lime, cordial, Cordiale. And their most recent song, or their like top most recent song, is Robbery. Alternative band. I would recommend, if you're going to listen to it, listen to their newest album, 2020. We'll give it a shot.
Is
July
that the name
10th.
of the album?
No, it's called 14 Steps to a Better You.
I'm glad, because that's an awful album name, and Bon Jovi just released an album with that name Friday.
What, 2020?
Yeah, I think it was Bon Jovi.
So this is called 14 Steps to a Better You, and it's 14 songs long.
Yeah, Bon Jovi. All right, I wrote it down.
I'll listen to it too. Like I said, I've only gotten 3 songs in, and I liked what I heard so far. So there's my recommendation for you. We'll both listen to each other's.
I love doing this. It's so fun
musics.
finding
Oh,
artists.
I always love doing this.
Like talking about like the MGK album, like that's pretty standard. Like I think most people are probably going to check that out. But something like what you're probably mentioning, most people probably don't know. And I think that's always fun to learn.
Yeah. Well, and it's fun for you and I. You and I always like finding new music. So
It's fun too because you get to know them, and then sometimes one of them will blow up, and you'll be like, I knew them.
I knew that back then.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yep. All right. Did you have anything else you wanted to talk about? I think we could wrap this episode up. No?
I wanted to talk about a few things that came out this week. I don't know if you happen to listen to any other stuff, but
I don't know if I did.
I decided to because I had a little bit of a drive. So
We already talked about the one song. Why don't we fall in?
yeah, and I would say that's the best song of the past few.
I mean, I listened to Zayn's new album or new song too. It was meh.
Shawn Mendes just had a new song that came out. That was actually pretty decent. I do recommend listening to that.
I agree.
You know,
listened to it.
I think this is something, and it's called Wonder, by the way.
Yes.
I think it's a good song.
We didn't say
This
that.
is something that I think will surprise you that I really liked a lot. And I'm almost embarrassed that I liked it. Blackpink just released an album this week,
I haven't listened to it yet.
and it's only 8 songs long, and it's called The Album. Very creative. And I kind of enjoyed every song on this stinking thing. I'm not going to lie.
Well, Ice Cream was a single.
Ice Cream was a single, and then How You Like That was a single, which also was – that might be my favorite song on this album, to be honest with you. Right now, the most popular one now for this week is Bet You Wanna featuring Cardi B.
Surprise!
Might be my least favorite one on here, but every single one of them I was like, I kind of enjoyed. And I really didn't expect to.
Then.
So it's kind of fun. I'll give that as another thing for you to listen to for next week. It's a short listen. Couple other things. 21 Savage released an album.
Haven't listened to that yet either. I heard it was really good.
It's fine. It's not my style so much. It sounds like everything else 21 Savage, except I just didn't sense any sort of change up or creativity from it.
I'm definitely going to give that a listen to, though, especially because he's got that one song with Drake.
Yeah, and the
Mr.
Drake
Right
song's
Now or something, I think.
Yeah, that's a good song.
Yeah.
And then I just want to bring up the topic, and we'll go over it real quick. I barely listened to either of these, but there was a album by Robert Plant called Subterranea, or Digging Deep Subterranea. Robert Plant is the lead singer of oh my gosh, I'm losing my mind. Not Greta Van Fleet, but who they cover.
Zeppelin?
Zeppelin, thank you. Good gosh. And then who was the other guy? Oh, like I said, Bon Jovi released an album called 2020.
I'm not even
So-
interested in Bon Jovi's album. I'm gonna be fully frank with you.
You aren't? Is that what you said?
Not at all.
Yeah. So that's sort of what I want to say. Neither am I. I don't care, and I don't care about Robert Plant's album.
Bon
So-
Jovi's past his time.
So is Robert Plant. Robert Plant can't sing anymore. He can hit notes, but he can't sing high, and that's what he's good at. So what I want to, the topic I just want to, or the point I want to make kind of on those albums is when artists of that were in their prime years ago make an album for today, they're not making it for new listeners. They're making it for the people that already follow them, already love them, and they're gonna make exactly what those people want. And if you have been listening and following to him, I listened to the Bon Jovi album. There's a couple times he picked up the guitar and sang from his heart. It's not bad, but I don't care. So
I think you're right
love-
though, and I think
I
the
like that these artists are doing this for their fans, but at the end of the day, I don't really think that it's worth checking out.
the other thing to mention with Bon Jovi is he's also very politically outspoken, and I'm sure that comes out in his music.
Yeah, I didn't notice it so much halfway through. I just noticed by some of the song titles, but
I haven't even looked at the album. I don't want to.
so that's all. I just wanted to point out because that's a big deal. I mean, those are two huge names in music that released albums this
Oh
week.
yeah. Yep, I agree.
How much time are we at?
About an hour.
Seriously?
Yeah.
I feel like we just started.
When do we start? We start at 6:30, right?
6:30 your time.
A little under an hour. Oh yeah, sorry, 7:30 your time.
I'm like, dang, we went 2 hours.
And I talked about 5 minutes, so probably 6:35. So we're about 10 minutes behind.
I don't know what happened, but at the beginning of this, you were like a bright beacon of light and your face looked like really tan. And now everything has gotten dark behind you, and now your face is somehow lighter than mine.
It's 'cause
Like my face at the
sun
beginning of
went
this,
down.
my face was like white compared to yours, like a ghost. And then yours was like really dark, and now it's reversed somehow.
The sun went down. That's why. Here, 1 sec.
Like I want someone to just oh, that made it light up. I want a screenshot from the beginning and a screenshot from the end just to show that change. Much better. Nah, your face is still pretty
Still kinda
light
light.
because you got the LED lights. I
Yeah.
heard a song last night. It was about 9 o'clock. Got into bed, took a melatonin or whatever to try to get to sleep. Couldn't fall asleep. Got out of bed at 10:30. Picked up the guitar. Was up till about 2, finishing it up.
Hell yeah. That's awesome.
I feel really good about it. Like sometimes I usually have an idea and I'll get through part of it. This one, I think I got through all of it. But I still I obviously have a long way to go, but I just mean lyric wise.
Hey, that's all. That's a start. That's where to start.
Right. I have the chords for the guitar, but obviously you got to record and master and piece it together, and that's
Plus,
a long process. But
it's good to get it out on the paper.
yeah, or on
Shows you where your mind's at.
Yeah.
So, yeah, good for you. One of these days we're gonna see you play it. That's for sure.
One of these days I'll make an album. I've got a lot of stuff in the works.
Good.
I just got to get a new job. Apparently, I don't need to. Apparently, things are getting easier
Yeah,
now.
things are good now, right? So
Apparently, I'm actually able to do it while I'm here.
off to a good start.
All right, fake shot time. Cheers.
Oh, you can't take a shot. It's gonna be like, let's do one,
Yeah, it's all right.
sucker.
So what are we doing next week? We got anything exciting?
Oh, I'm sure I'll come up with something, boy.
I mean, we clearly already have 3 albums to review, so.
Yeah, we just did albums reviewed. I opened up a package. This is the first time we've done
Yeah,
that on stream.
This episode was awesome.
There's a lot of new stuff coming out
I
here.
enjoyed
New
it.
content. So I'm sure I'll come up with something for next week. I'm always thinking about this podcast. It's always in the back of my head. And if you come up with something, I'd be more than willing to do whatever you want.
Yep.
If it is reviewing albums or songs, just let me know so I can listen in advance.
I'm open for all ideas. We'll do it and see how it goes.
Yeah. And then eventually, not next week, maybe not the week after, but then maybe we can find somebody to come on. I'd be down for that.
It'd be fun. It'd be fun. It'd be different. Like, it'd be a whole different, like, vibe, but it'd be fun.
I'd be cool with that.
You'd be chill.
I'd be chill. I'd be chill with that.
All right. Well, that concludes the Sunken Submarine podcast for week 2 of season 4. And we are going strong because I don't feel any reason to end this right now. I'm enjoying it. So
Neither do I. And that's why, obviously, I sent the passive-aggressive message this morning, like, great podcast we filmed last night. But, I wasn't, I don't care.
I got caught up because of the places I decided to go this weekend. I had to work a little late, but
Well, and I don't care. We got a loose schedule. We're releasing on our own time, and that's the way we're doing it. So, no pressures. So I agree. Life is good.
all right. Arrivederci, my friends.
Bye.
See you next time.
Oh shit.